Hello, I'm Perry here from Reddit and Ride, and I'm here to talk about the 5 British artisan cheeses you were gifted or you bought yourself. I am affineur. I mature cheese in the 5 rooms that we have over here in Cambridge. Start to finish, some finishing, some not as finishing, and then trying to get the best out of British artisan cheese in its timeline. Most people think milk and just cheese appears, but there's a whole bit in the middle which is so important and crucial. Way your cheeses taste. I'm a world cheese judge. I get to travel around the world judging cheese, and we have a beautiful shopping standard. So hopefully that's enough accolades to talk to you about and say, hey, I think I might know what I'm talking about, hopefully. So let's get stuck in. You would have received your box. You would have got your misplaced them, but your tasting notes and a complimentary pack of biscuits as well, going for your cheeses, and of course your 5 British artisan cheeses. So let's jump into the first one. I'm going to make a bit of room here actually, I haven't really thought this through. So the first cheese that we have up is Ashcombe, made by David Jowett, doing phenomenal things down in the Cotswolds. If you've tried his cheese Yarlington, that's a collaboration with Salaman Sand. If you haven't, I recommend you do, because it's tasting utterly delicious at the moment. And they link up with Manafar, who's literally just sort of around the corner for them. Well, actually, just literally neighbours. Can't even call them neighbours, they're so close. And they're really big on this whole regenerative farm type movement. The pastures that they have there are incredible, embracing the milk for what it is on that day, making with it, learning and creating these unique characters. And these just launched a cheese, not just, it's been a while, but Burford, but today we're focusing on the Ashcombe. And the first thing you've got to notice is that ash line running in the middle. This is modelled on Morbier style cheese. I don't think technically I can say that anymore because there's trademarks involved, but essentially the idea is putting an ash line in the middle, makes it look pretty. Medieval times were useful to keep the flies off and things like that, but modern day, we don't have that problem. And then you see this nice little peachy rind on the outside, indicating the cheese has been washed, and a funk to tell you that's definitely what's happening. Nice coupling kind of floral herbaceous. So let's cut a bit off, and we'll read some together. Mine's a little bit cold, unfortunately. These were cut up and they're put in a slightly colder room, so I'll be getting a slightly worse experience than you, but don't worry, I'm a professional. So texture is slightly more dry than usual that we're seeing. There's a few eyelets opening around the rind of the cheese, indicating to me that it's going to be a little bit more funk, maybe a little bit more gassy in a way. And some taste. Light, easygoing. Texture similar to... Oh, I wasn't expecting that, no. The sweetness is very cool. The sweetness is warm, condensed milk kind of vibe. There's a sweetness to it, which feels nutty, almost like Werther's original vibe that's in there. It's not that, but they're giving me that sweet warmth and that hay coupled with the milk. I'm getting that funk that's in there from Nice Rind. I like it when it's a bit crayon. I'm really nice with the rind. That's an outstanding cheese at the moment. Like I said, that sort of indication, the eyelets just opening up at the top of the cheese, just shows there's a little bit more gas in the milk, a little bit more fermentation going on. That's what it is. Sorry, it's like a ferment edge. There's a slight sweet kimchi vibe to it. Really, really nice. That's a great idea of what that cheese should be like and what it tastes like. Good one to start with. Simple, doesn't overwhelm palate. Good length. Well done, David. Great cheese. Next one up, we have Poacher 50. Poacher 50 is formed out of an accident of someone leaving the normal poach heating on a little bit too long, cooking the milk a little bit more, making it a little bit more parmesan-y. Tim gave me a call, kind of in lockdown period when he first started making his cheese. If I ain't got cheese, if I cook it for longer, it'll be able to mature for longer because the moisture is less. Would you be interested? I said, yeah, I'll be interested. Put me down for X, Y, Z. Probably about 4 years later, it was a busy time, COVID, Tim called me and said, how'd you get on with those cheeses? Which I completely forgot about. They were just sitting in the back of our room. So, great. We supply this cheese to Clarkson's farm. It's their parmesan, which is pretty cool. And Comsani. We're feeling a little parmesan-y, but actually not in a huge way. So, aroma, we got that cheddar there. A little bit more mountainous with the cook that's in there. That funk linking in well with the first cheese. There's an order to these cheeses. This is why we choose them to be like this. Texture is tough, what you'd expect, but still a little bit of give. Big on the savoury here. This is proper ferment, brothy, little bit beefy, intermingled with more tropical fruits as it evaporates off your palate. You're getting that reminiscent of a pineapple or a more tropical fruit as it leaves the palate. A cleaning there it has. Really delicious. Slight nut in there as well after the evaporation of the palate. Really, really more. I've taken to putting this on a lot of things that I cook as well. So if you've got a microplane at home, shave a little bit on that. Be absolutely perfect. So next you go, just making sure. Yes, I'm in the right order. I make sure of that. It's got to be clear. The next one up is Pecorino Fresco, made by Mario Olianis in Otley. Cool guy. Making a nice amount of money on TikTok, surprisingly. Go check him out. He's literally getting his cheese and then washing it under the tap, which is a perfectly safe and natural thing to do, washing cheese, to remove the mold from outside to make his cheese look pleasant. And the internet has just really taken to it. So if you want to go and watch Mario doing that, then so be it. So sheep's milk. It's like the pecorino, I call this young pecorino, in the early 2 months state of its life rather than typically what we're aware of and what we know. So you're seeing that brilliant white to ivory kind of colour that's going on there. We've got a little bit more sort of gassy texture, a little bit more open that's in there. I'm actually going to go down the proper way of cutting this, the etiquette. As I say, always get stuck into the cheese, but I just feel like this is more subtle, more nuanced. Aroma. That warm milk vibe is back as well from the first one. There must be something with the weather at the moment, going into the sheep and cows. So I'm getting that funk again, that sort of warmed, fudgy actually. Let's have a taste. Really nice. Pleasant, easygoing, neutralising, very moreish, touch of savoury that's in there, lingering milk finish. The acidity reminds me of a slightly wine gum area. That's delicious. Really more, really refreshing after the two big sweetish kind of cheeses. Like that. Pecorino Fresco. I think a lot of people will like that too. Next one we have up. Now, normally our position 3 is at the front, but I felt like the Pecorino Fresco would add a little bit of neutrality to be able to give you the best of this cheese. Made by Allsop and Walker, Arthur Allsop. Fantastic cheesemaker, really good guy as well. Once again, more little sort of openings that are in the cheese, which are great to see. Aroma, so we're looking for a really neutral, easygoing. So when I'm putting these balls together, obviously we plan 6 to 8 months ahead, but a lot of them get changed out a month before. We've been having amazing weather. I don't want to bombard people with big old flavours that knock you out of the park. That's more wintry, where I felt like this is more appropriate. So that Giraud mushroom vibe, which you're going to get from most breeds. You smell that rind, it is like a punnet of mushrooms. So I'm thinking high dairy, simple but effective. Mushroom, nice like chew texture, holds up a bit, dissipates really nicely. Subtle touch of mushrooms, lactic, fresh, milk in there. A really pleasant journey again. Really, really nice. That rind is quite good. Almost got a leathery vibe to it that brings in that kind of aggression that's just underneath the rind. Nice cheese. Final cheese, Bark and Blue. Village made cheeses. Used to be made by Two Hoots Cheeses. Two Hoots. But the Whitmore, Jake, Kaylee took this on board, built a whole new facility for it. Very cool going to see them and speaking to them about what the old cheesemakers used to do, to what they do. Really, really cool. We've got this kind of mucal rind that's on the outside. Nice rich colour from the high quality milk. Can't really see it on the camera, but it looks more yellow in person. Good activity on the outside. Nice slice. Borderline territorial with the way that felt sliced, but I know that it's going to leave that on there. I know that it's going to hold together really well. Aroma, let's have a look. So we should get a little bit of that mushroomy vibe. Similar family as the penicillium that's on here. No, they're not, but they give off the similar aromas. More of that blue, the astringency in the aroma that's there as well. Those typical notes of blue. Let's have a taste. Quite big taste. Lovely texture. Yielding. Good bite. Dissipates really well. This is why we selected it this month. A little bit more stronger. That astringency is nowhere to be seen, but that kind of tang and aggression and breathiness that blues can have. That blue cheese that people love is there. And it's got that sort of slight ammoniation touch, so just at the end, it burns a little bit. In a really pleasant way, by the way. That sounds weird. But that's a really nice blue, really well made. Nice to see it, because normally we say this is our entry level blue. Nice to see it lift up a little bit more and push the envelope a little bit more. And it's got a really nice profile at the moment. Really long, delicious cheese. And that's your 5 British Artisan cheeses for this month. So enjoy. Leave us a review. Come see us in Stanford. Tell your friends and family about us. We're an independent business. We always love your support and feedback. We really do. We get back to you guys so fast because we just want to understand what's right, what's wrong about our cheese, and keep on doing what we're doing. So until next time, take it easy.